Welcome back, Ertugrul's son, to the rise of Osman Bey, a leadership journey. Your go-to channel for diving deep into the strategic mind and formidable challenges faced by Osman Bey as he lays the foundations of an empire. We've just witnessed the intense build-up to episode 192 and the air is thick with anticipation. Where do we go from here? What new trials await our Bey and his loyal Alps? Today, we're going to break down the potential paths this next episode might take based on where we left off and the ongoing currents of the narrative. The journey of leadership isn't just about victories on the battlefield, it's about navigating treachery, making impossible choices, securing the loyalty of your people, and constantly adapting to threats that emerge from every shadow. As Osman Bey inches closer to establishing a sovereign state, the stakes get exponentially higher. Every decision, every alliance, every confrontation carries immense weight. Looking back at the developments leading into episode 192, several key tensions are at play. We've seen shifting alliances, renewed threats from both familiar and potentially new adversaries, and complex internal dynamics within the Ke tribe and amongst the surrounding Beyliks. The landscape is constantly changing, forcing Osman Bey to be not just a warrior, but a master strategist, a shrewd diplomat, and a just ruler. One of the most pressing concerns likely carries over directly from the cliffhanger leading into 192. Was it a military setback? A political betrayal? A personal danger to Osman or those close to him? Let's analyze the possibilities. If the preceding episode ended with a military confrontation or a strategic loss, episode 192 will undoubtedly focus on Osman Bey's response. How does he recover from a blow? Does he retaliate immediately with force, or does he choose a more calculated approach? We know Osman Bey is not one to shy away from a fight, but his leadership journey has taught him the value of patience and strategic timing. Could this setback be a trap designed to lure him into a larger ambush? Or is it a genuine test of his army's resilience and his commander's capabilities? This is where his experience comes into play. A younger Osman might have charged headfirst, but the Osman we see now has learned to assess the situation, consult his advisors like Baran, Serkate, and his wise Haytans, Bala and Malhan, before making a move. Perhaps the threat isn't purely military. Could we see a significant political development? The delicate balance of power between the Turk Beyliks is a constant undercurrent in the series. Has one of the other Beys made a move against Osman, perhaps spurred on by external forces like the Byzantines or remnants of the Mongol influence? A political crisis could be far more complex to navigate than a battle. It requires diplomacy, negotiation, and the ability to discern true allies from wolves in sheep's clothing. What would a major political betrayal at this stage mean for Osman Bey's ambitions? Could it force him to shift his focus away from the Byzantine frontier towards internal disputes? These are crucial questions that could define the direction of episode 192. We might see tense negotiations, attempts to forge new alliances, or even preemptive strikes to neutralize a political threat before it escalates into open conflict. Speaking of threats, the Byzantines remain a persistent thorn in Osman Bey's side. Their castles, their soldiers, and their cunning commanders are ever-present dangers. Has a new Byzantine commander arrived, bringing fresh tactics and renewed aggression? Or have existing adversaries like the Tekfurs devised a particularly insidious plan? The show often portrays the Byzantine threat as multi-layered, involving not just military might but also espionage, attempts to sow discord among the Turks, and economic pressure. Could episode 192 reveal a deep-cover Byzantine spy within Osman Bey's ranks or among his allies? Is it possible that a major Byzantine offensive is being planned and the events leading into 192 are merely a distraction? Thinking about the leadership journey theme, how Osman Bey uncovers and counters such plots is just as important as his battlefield prowess. It demonstrates his intelligence, his network of information, and his ability to inspire loyalty that can resist enemy temptations. Internal challenges are also a constant test of Osman Bey's leadership. The Ke tribe, while fiercely loyal to Osman, is still a community with its own dynamics, its own elders, and its own potential for disagreement or manipulation. Have tensions within the tribe flared up? Perhaps related to resource distribution, roles of authority, or differing opinions on strategy. Will we see dissent surface among the Ke, perhaps fueled by external provocations? Could a trusted figure face a personal crisis that impacts their loyalty or effectiveness? The strength of Osman's leadership is often showcased by how he handles internal matters, dispensing justice, listening to counsel, and maintaining unity. Episode 192 could put these skills to the test, perhaps forcing him to make a difficult decision that impacts someone close to him for the greater good of the tribe and the nascent state. Another area ripe for development is the role of Osman Bey's family and close companions. Bala Hatun and Malhun Hatun are not just wives, they are formidable figures who provide counsel, manage tribal affairs, and even participate in defense. Baran, Serkete, Konar, and the other Alps are the steel in Osman's hand. Could episode 192 place one of these key characters in significant danger, forcing Osman Bey to make a difficult rescue or strategic choice? Will we see one of them step into a more prominent leadership role during a crisis, further showcasing the strength of the team Osman Bey has built around him? Their personal journeys and sacrifices are integral to Osman's rise, and developments involving them are often catalysts for major plot points. Let's consider the narrative structure. Kurlis Osman often builds tension through multiple converging plot lines. It's likely that the main challenge introduced at the end of the previous episode isn't the only thing happening in 192. We might see parallel developments, a military threat on one front, a political intrigue on another, and perhaps a personal challenge intertwined. Osman Bey's ability to juggle these multiple crises is a hallmark of his leadership. The theme of justice is also fundamental to the series. Osman Bey strives to establish a state based on fairness and divine law. When faced with betrayal, crime, or injustice, how does he respond in episode 192? Does he apply swift, decisive justice, or does he undertake a careful investigation? His handling of such matters reinforces his image as a just ruler and solidifies the principles of the state he is building. We might see a specific case of injustice that Osman Bey must resolve, showcasing his wisdom and adherence to principles. Furthermore, the spiritual dimension is always present. Osman Bey's faith is his guiding light. How does he turn to his faith during times of extreme difficulty or uncertainty, which episode 192 is likely to present? Does he seek guidance from Sheikh Adebelai? Does his faith inform his strategic or political decisions? This aspect of his character is vital and often provides him with the strength and perspective needed to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. As we anticipate episode 192, we are essentially watching the complex machinery of state building in action. It's not a linear path, it's full of twists, turns, setbacks, and triumphs. Each challenge is a test, and Osman Bey's reaction to it shapes the future of his people. Let's delve a little deeper into specific potential scenarios based on common patterns in the show and the historical trajectory, while remembering the show takes creative liberties. Could we see one of the Haytons take a central role in resolving a crisis, demonstrating their own strength and capability? The title, The Rise of Osman Bey, A Leadership Journey, isn't just a catchy phrase, it's the core theme of the entire series. Episode 192, whatever specific events it holds, will inevitably contribute another chapter to this journey. We are watching a leader being forged in the fires of conflict and adversity. Every challenge he overcomes, every difficult decision he makes, adds another layer to his character and strengthens his resolve. Consider the challenges he's already faced: internal Ki disputes, Mongol oppression, Byzantine attacks, the scheming of various antagonists, and the immense responsibility of leading a growing community. Episode 192 will present a new iteration of these challenges, requiring Osman Bey to draw upon all the lessons he has learned. We might see him demonstrating his renowned strategic cunning, setting up ambushes or outsmarting a seemingly superior foe. We might see him inspiring his troops and his people through sheer courage and unwavering faith. We might see him engaging in tense diplomatic exchanges, using wisdom rather than just force to achieve his goals. We might see him administering justice, upholding the principles that will define his state. Which aspect of Osman Bey's leadership do you think will be most tested in episode 192? Will it be his military strategy, his political acumen, or his ability to maintain unity among his people? Share your predictions in the comments below. The future isn't set in stone, and the beauty of analyzing a show like Kurlis Osman before the episode airs is exploring the myriad possibilities. The writers do an excellent job of weaving together historical context with dramatic tension. While we know the general historical outcome, the founding of the Ottoman state, the how and the through whom is where the drama lies. Episode 192 is another piece of that intricate puzzle. What kind of enemies will emerge or make their move? Will they be military commanders, cunning politicians, or perhaps ideological adversaries seeking to undermine Osman's vision? The nature of the antagonist often shapes the type of leadership required to defeat them. Facing a military general requires tactical brilliance. Facing a political schemer requires wisdom and diplomacy. Facing an ideological opponent requires articulating and defending one's own principles. We might also see unexpected alliances form or dissolve in episode 192. The political landscape of the time was incredibly fluid. Who can Osman Bey truly trust? Who is merely waiting for an opportunity to strike? This constant uncertainty demands vigilance and sharp judgment from a leader. The role of intelligence gathering is often crucial. Does Osman Bey receive vital information in episode 192 that changes the course of events? From whom does this information come? His network of spies and loyal scouts is as important as his army. As we look forward to episode 192, consider the overarching narrative arc. Osman Bey is not just conquering lands, he is building a civilization. He is laying down laws, establishing institutions, and fostering a sense of collective identity among disparate groups. Any event in episode 192, whether a battle or a political maneuver, will have implications for this larger project. Will the episode feature a significant step towards formalizing the state? Perhaps a declaration, a new administrative measure, or a symbolic act of sovereignty? This would be a major milestone in his leadership journey. Let's reflect on the journey so far. We've seen Osman grow from a passionate but sometimes impetuous young warrior to a seasoned, strategic leader. He's learned from his mistakes, endured terrible losses, and held firm to his vision. Episode 192 will add another layer to this evolution. What kind of leader will the challenges of this episode reveal? Will we see unparalleled bravery? Exceptional mercy? Unyielding resolve? Or perhaps a moment of vulnerability that only strengthens his connection with his people? Based on how the previous episode ended, what do you think is the most likely immediate challenge Osman Bey will face in episode 192? Military, political, internal, personal? How do you predict Osman Bey will choose to respond to this challenge, drawing on his leadership qualities? Do you anticipate a significant character arc development for any specific supporting character, Bala, Malhun, Baran, Surkate, etc., in this upcoming episode? Could episode 192 introduce a major new antagonist or shift the focus to a different historical conflict? What are your thoughts on these possibilities? Do you have alternative predictions or specific things you hope to see in episode 192? Let us know in the comments section below. Your insights and theories add so much to our community analysis.